Quick clap. See you later, suckers.
Such incredible style and features at such great value.
Go.
It's gonna feel like you stole it.
They'll never take us alive.
And it's fun to pretend you did. Suzuki.
College educates the mind, spirit and heart. Visit monavey.com.
Part of the Ace Radio Network, 88.9 and 93.7 Mix FM.
12 degrees in Melbourne, late showers tomorrow, a top of 17. It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Tony Tardio. Documents have revealed more than 1,000 Victorians could have been harmed as a result of 000 delays during the pandemic. At least 18 deaths have been linked to the service failure since October last year. Attorney General Jacqueline Symes has refused to confirm whether the figures are accurate and is promising a long-awaited report will be released by the end of the month. General Secretary at the Victorian Ambulance Union, Danny Hill, spoke earlier today.
What happened at ESTA, which is the Emergency Services Telecommunication Authority, is they just didn't have enough staff. It was never ready for an event like COVID, and that should have been spotted a long way out.
The Andrews government has not ruled out exclusion zones to ban protests outside hospitals. Victorian Federal Labor MP Rob Mitchell has called for emergency laws to be introduced, which could include a 250-metre exclusion zone to protect patients and staff. Former Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack is refusing to condemn his old boss Scott Morrison, who gave himself 5 extra cabinet positions while leading the country, among them the resources portfolio. He used the additional powers to thwart a controversial gas project at the dismay of the appointed minister. Despite this, Mr McCormack has backed Mr Morrison.
I can recall sitting in a meeting with Keith Pitt and with Scott Morrison and discussing that. Keith Pitt was of one mind, Scott Morrison was of the other. At the end of the day, as I said to Keith Pitt, well, he is the Prime Minister. Now, I'm not saying that we live in a situation where the Prime Minister gets the final say on all of these things.
But Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says what Mr Morrison did was a cynical power grab.
Our democracy is precious, but the Westminster system relies upon checks and balances. The former government, Scott Morrison and others who were involved in this, deliberately undermined those checks and balances that are so important and essential for our democracy.
Police believe the body found at Taralgan Creek is a 57-year-old woman. The formal identification process is still underway. Police have been in liaison with the woman's family. The body was found not far from where she was seen walking along Whitakers Road before being swept away in waters yesterday morning. The death is not being treated as suspicious and police will prepare a report for the coroner. An ex-bureaucrat who was allegedly told he was too Irish and would never get another job in the Victorian Public Service says he didn't have any run-ins with politicians to warrant a mark being put against his name. Niall Finnegan has revealed on social media that the comments were made by former Department of Premier and Cabinet Secretary Chris Eccles. Mr Finnegan was Chief Executive of the EPA until 2018 and says he has applied for a number of jobs since then but continues to be knocked back. He says the comment was racist.
He said I was too black, too Asian, too female, too whatever. You know, everybody recognises that as discrimination. If he said I was too stupid or too ignorant, I could go and educate myself. But there's one thing I can't do, and that's dilute my Irishness. I've got Irish parents. I was born in Dublin. I lived in Ireland until I was 19.
Mr Eccles has rejected the claim, saying the accusation of racism is deeply offensive. Finance news, the share market up 37, the dollar buying 70.29 US cents.
Sonia Gillingham knows the Hamilton property market. Call Sonia at Groves Real Estate.
Geelong spearhead Jeremy Cameron says scans on his latest hamstring strain show it's minor and looks different to previous hamstring issues he's had. He'll be sidelined this weekend and it's hopeful he'll be right to play in week 1 of the finals.
Well, that's going to be a call we're going to have to make. Hopefully I'm feeling 100% come that time, but you know, with finals it is a little bit different to the home and away year. You know, we've been conservative in the past and yeah, I'm not too sure. It's something we're going to have to decide on as we get closer.
Essendon coach Ben Rutten is getting on with the job as a cloud hangs over his future, taking training at Tullamarine today as the club pursues Alistair Clarkson. Rutten says the situation is not ideal, but it is what it is. It's 5:05. That's the latest in news and sport.
If you have an unwanted tree that needs removing or trees that are encroaching on fence lines, Barco can sort it out. They're your local accredited professional team and one-stop shop for tree lopping and traffic management.
The next time you try a McCafe coffee, you'll be enjoying the delicious taste of Australia's most popular barista-made coffee. Just one of many reasons to try McCafe.
It's hard to believe that some people buy beds out of town. Makes you wonder if they've ever been to Beds. And if they know how good the staff are and the time they spend making their customers happy, shopping elsewhere is a bit silly, really. Beds and Portland, MixxFM's Business of the Month.
MixxFM, your official emergency broadcaster.
On your next outdoor adventure,
MixxFM weather.
Southern Grampians Livestock and Real Estate welcomes Edith Fox to the Portland sales team.
Cloudy for the rest of your Tuesday, with winds becoming lighter and an overnight low of 4 degrees. Cloudy again tomorrow with a very high chance of showers in the late morning and a top of 13. Thursday there'll be more cloud about with a chance of a thunderstorm and 40k winds, a max of 14. And Friday, cloudy with rain and northwesterly winds reaching 35k's, a chilly high of 12. Tomorrow looking at a top of 13 for Hamilton and 15 for Warrnambool, Portland and the coast.
Harvey Norman Hamilton, your laptop specialists.
Right now it's 12 degrees.